The Imran Khan government in Pakistan has bowed down to the demands of hardline Islamists. Pakistan will now drop all charges against the chief of the terror organization TLP or Tehreek-e-Libak Pakistan. Moreover, the Imran Khan government will be taking up the issue of the expulsion of the French ambassador for debate in the parliament. The announcement was made by Pakistan's Interior Minister, Sheikh Rashid Ahmad. The Pakistan Parliament will now debate whether the French ambassador to the country should be expelled. This has been one of the primary demands of the hardline Islamists over the publication of cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad in a French satirical magazine. The Imran Khan government was forced to concede after days of unrest. 3 Pakistani police personnel were killed in clashes on Friday. This comes after demonstrators from the banned Islamist group rallied to demand the release of their leader. The officers were hit by a vehicle as thousands of activists from Tehreek-e-Libak Pakistan movement gathered in the eastern city of Lahore for a march on the capital Islamabad. Police fired tear gas after TLP supporters attacked a security checkpoint during clashes across the city. According to reports, the Imran Khan government held a marathon 8-hour-long meeting with the chief of the TLP, Saad Hussain Rizvi. The decision was taken that the Pakistan government will be dropping all cases against the TLP chief. And now a date is reportedly being discussed for Rizvi's release. While the Imran Khan government will also review the ban on the terror group, the TLP, in turn the TLP decided to halt their protests but will continue to stage sit-in demonstrations. The protests over a series of caricatures published in the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo last year follow serious clashes in April in which at least 5 police personnel and 3 activists were killed and hundreds were injured. The authorities had then arrested the group's leader, banned it and designated the TLP as a terrorist movement. Authorities had been trying to negotiate with the group, which rallied its supporters outside its Lahore headquarters for the last few days and threatened to march to capital Islamabad. The Imran Khan government, however, is also preparing for the worst and boosting security in the key areas. The central government has sought personnel of rangers and frontier constables. Security personnel are also being stationed in and around the red zone in Islamabad. A contingent of 200 personnel each have been deployed at entry points in the city. Going straight across now to our correspondent Anas Malik with us live on the broadcast for more on these developments. Anas, this is not the first time, of course, that the Imran Khan government has bowed down to the demands of hardline Islamists. Get us up to speed with the latest coming in and how many workers of the TLP are being released or have been released. Anas, if my voice is going through to you? Anas, bring us up to speed with the latest in terms of the number of the TLP workers who are set to be released as the Pakistan government once again bows down to the hardline Islamists. We'll just try and reconnect that audio line with our correspondent. The Pakistan government, in a move that once again suggests succumbing to pressure to hardline Islamists in the country, it will be dropping all charges against the chief of the terror organization, the TLP or the Tehreek-e-Libak Pakistan. The Imran Khan government also will be taking up the issue of the expulsion of the French ambassador for debate in the parliament. Now, this move comes after demonstrators from the banned Islamist group had rallied demanding the release of their leader. And in turn, the Pakistan government has now given in to their demands. What is the latest that we know at this point? How many TLP workers are set to be released?
Well, at this point of time, more than 350 TLP workers have been released. We're expecting more to be released in hours to come. The Pakistani Ministry of Interior, the Minister for Interior, Sheikh Rashid Ahmed, he himself has announced this, that the government went on into marathon negotiations that lasted about 8 hours with the banned TLP and its chief, who the chief is imprisoned currently in Kot Lakhpat jail in Lahore, and that after negotiations, the Pakistani government has committed that they will be taking the matter to the Pakistani Parliament, and number one, and number two, they will also be dropping all charges against the TLP. On the other end, it looks like the government is conceding on the demands, because just 3 to 4 days back we saw the government saying that it cannot afford to expel the French ambassador. That is the core of the demand of the TLP, that they want the French ambassador to be expelled at the earliest, and that would be something that would be closely watched out, because France is one of the biggest donors under the G20 program to Pakistan. So it would be interesting in case if the Pakistani government bows down. On the other hand, TLP remains a banned organization. That has also been promised that the review will be done of the TLP as a banned organization, and that the charges of them being a terror outfit are likely to be dropped. This would be followed up with Saad Rizvi, the supreme leader of TLP, who is currently under arrest, his release as well. Molly?
And we'll keep coming back to you as and when further updates trickle in. 350 TLP workers have been released. More are set to be released. Thanks very much for the moment, Anas. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.